Rising up, here we go. No time to be afraid. They say it's impossible. Can't listen to what they say. They got me motivated. Oh yeah, I'm motivated.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Maximize the Business of You. I'm Maximino, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Maximize. Today, we are talking Tai Chi. We are talking physical fitness, some mental space with my man, Anthony Tramantano. Anthony is a longtime student of the late Grand Master C.K, a world-renowned Tai Chi master. Anthony teaches Tai Chi, Gung. He is an established herbalist, nutritionist, and served in the U.S. Navy during the Persian Gulf War. He is also preparing for an advanced degree in metaphysics. Everybody give it up for Anthony Tramantano. Hey, Anthony.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for joining me on the show.
How you doing, everybody?
I really appreciate it, man. First of all, I want you to take us on a journey on how you found Tai Chi and made it part of your life.
Okay, in 1998, my younger brother Joseph and I, we're martial artists, and we practiced karate many years ago. And after my father passed away, we wanted to return to studying martial arts. We studied a hard style, and we wanted to study something that would give us more internal peace of mind. I didn't know anything about Tai Chi at the time, so I whipped out my telephone book. This is 98, so they had telephone.
Yeah.
And I looked up a C.K. Chu, the Tai Chi Chuan Center of New York, located on 45th Street in Manhattan. And Master Chu, Grand Master Chu, answered the phone. And he said, he kind of had that Mr. Miyagi, oh, hi, Master Chu, come to the Tai Chi studio. And honestly, after that, it was real history. And I want to explain why. So I went down to the school, and I expected to be practicing Tai Chi. Now, Tai Chi Chuan is a series of moving exercises that bring chi, or energy, into the body. That's what Tai Chi is. And you're moving in a circular motion, imitating the movements of nature, plants, that type of thing, wind, thunder, the elements. So I wasn't doing that the first day I went in. He actually put us in this big room and turned off the lights, and I'm looking around like, okay, is this Return to the Twilight Zone? and what ended up happening was he had us do this stance. He had us almost like holding a beach ball, and I stood there. There were other things we had to do too. We had to suspend the head, tuck in the pelvis, toe had to be in, knee out, and as I was doing it, my body started to shake, and I started to feel heat, an intense heat. And my body literally jumped off the floor in about 15 minutes. He had us do it for like 15 minutes. So I didn't know what this was until after the class. And he told me that in ancient China, the Kung Fu masters would practice Gung. It's called Gung, this series of exercises where your body's circular. And he said that they would practice it, and it would make the body invincible, like literally invincible, like it to the point where the body would regenerate faster and faster. So what captivated me, first of all, he's the only Tai Chi master ever to bring this exercise from the mainland of China. He's the only grandmaster who's ever lived, who came from China, who actually brought it here. And when he did that, I thought he did a marvelous thing. So I was so captivated with it, I found ways to improve it. I found it improved the Tai Chi as well, because Tai Chi is about connecting with the earth, and it's about, as I mentioned before, the elements and so on and so forth, moving according to those things. Like a thunder is a push, and it's a push and a strike called double dragon. So that all, of course, the Tai Chi part, the martial arts, always captivated me. But this stance the secretive stance that he was the only one that taught, that captivated me even more. So I experimented. There's something called earthing. And earthing is connecting with nature by going in nature and standing near a tree, let's say. And you just kind of stand there for a few minutes and you connect with the earth. And I was reading about this as well. So the book is called Barefoot, and he talks about the man worked for a cable company, and then he found that when you earth, and I'm going someplace with this, when you earth, what you do is you untap the earth. The earth has a very powerful electromagnetic field.
Absolutely,
and you tap into it. Yeah, so I started doing this thing. And I did it for years, but I never made the connection between doing the horse stance in Gung from Master Chu and earthing. And when I did that, I noticed that I wasn't getting sick, that definitely my body felt like an iron shield, and I was repairing really fast. Like if I was doing a workout and I hurt myself, or I was sparring with somebody and I hurt myself, I found out that it was double the time that Master Chu, I'm sure he knew about this, but we did this indoors. I mentioned about the
So you were healing yourself faster?
Much faster.
Got it.
By combining everything and then combining the Neigong from the Tai Chi.
Got it.
What's really inspiring me to teach Tai Chi is, as you mentioned, I've had many experiences. I was in a Catholic seminary. I worked I was served at the Persian Gulf in the U.S. Navy. I've been around the world. I've had quite a few experiences in my life. But what I've come from all this personally is that people have become disconnected to the earth, and that's the reason why they have most of the problems that we have, the complications that we have in society. I attribute the primary cause to the fact that we are just disconnected. So.
And what do you think is causing all this disconnect? I'm sorry to interrupt you. What do you think is causing all this technology, people not getting in touch with nature? Like, what do you think is causing it?
I think, Maximo, the last point you said is so true. I think it's because people are, as a result of technology, not technology in itself, it's a great thing, but people have forgotten. We've moved away from the direct experience with the planet. And we're on it. We're walking on it. We are walking receptacles for divine energy. But with all the tinkering toys we have in technology, we forgot it. This morning, Maximo, I saw on the news, I guess it was a meteor burst called a sonic boom. And it fell on the earth this morning, and it was in certain areas, both in New York and in Seattle, Washington. They heard the sound, they saw the lights. It's a tiny little rock. We have no concept of the energy that we potentially have, because we just become distracted by the tinkering with the technology. That's great. I'm sure that there are beings out in the universe that know far more about technology than we do. And it's great that we're experiencing with it. It's great that it's beautiful. But in the process, we totally forgot. There's a man by the name of Oberon Zell. He wrote a book a theory called Gaia. He came up with Gaia. And he said that the earth is not just a rock in space. It is a living organism. But the way we act, we wouldn't know the difference. And I think this is the biggest problem that we have. So this has inspired me that when I call it integral Tai Chi, I don't just teach Tai Chi, because some people are not even interested in knowing a martial art. So I teach certain stances, like the one I was doing with the tree, the earthing. And that is what's helping people to heal, helping them to connect. Basic things, very basic. And that's my mission. My mission now has become that. I see with the pandemic too. I see with all that's going on, I see that people must get back to nature, to connect.
I totally agree with you. So I've never tried Tai Chi. I'm usually meditated, workout, and yoga. What are the similarities between those two disciplines?
Well, there's for yoga, I have practiced yoga as well. They're stationary postures. They're stationary postures, and they open up energy centers called chakras. The difference between yoga and Tai Chi and Gung, that's an interdisciplinary part of Tai Chi, is that the body plugs into the earth like a plug. Think of it. You could think of an outlet, the plug, and that's where the energy comes from. It comes from the earth. In yoga, like the sun salutation, it comes from the celestial force. Whether it comes from the sun or the earth, of course, it's a powerful energy. And also, another difference is that in Tai Chi, your body is moving around as you're holding this kind of basketball, like a beach ball. You're moving around, you're moving your hands, and you're moving in a three-dimensional kind of shape called bakwa, which is a five. It's an octagon type shape, and that's a difference. You're also moving around three-dimensionally. But the biggest difference is the fact that you're plugging into the earth and tapping in directly into its electromagnetic field. Whereas in yoga, your postures, you're aligning with the earth and the sun, and the slowness of it, the breathing of it. The emphasis in yoga really is on the body itself. Whereas in Tai Chi, the emphasis is really on the body's integrated as it connects to the earth. I guess that's a good,
Okay, good.
Comparison, actually.
How many years have you been practicing your own and running your own studio? How many years have you been doing that?
That would be since 1990, actually 2000. So about 20 years now. 20 years. So what I did is when I first was practicing with Master Chu, I was teaching in an elementary school, and I started a Tai Chi program. I also used it in the arts. So I did like the story of Mulan. I had the kids do the 8th graders in the school. They put on a play where they did Tai Chi, the sword form. It was awesome. I did that. And then once I left teaching and I went into the health food industry, then I started teaching privately. I taught in the school. I also taught from the Tai Chi Chuan Center. I taught seniors in the Bronx, Riverdale, Yonkers, all over. And I also taught at a place called the Crystal Garden downtown, which I still do because now with the situation that we're in, I don't have time to have a place actually. We can't really meeting large groups. So I do teach privately down at the Crystal's Garden, which is on 10th Street and 1st Avenue. But I've taught extensively, competed, and all those things that go with the martial arts. And I'm happy to do that. I mean, I had an unfortunate situation about 2 months ago where I actually had to use Tai Chi. A group of people tried to rob me, and
wow.
you don't do that with it. But you don't do that with a Tai Chi person.
And how did that turn out?
Well, it turned out great for me. Put it that way. But it turned out very good. Put it this way: it turned out good all the way. And honestly speaking, I learned from my teacher that you've never hurt anybody, and I wouldn't do that. But you know what? It really had me thinking about how precious life is and how people take it for granted. That's why people need to make that connection. That connection is very spiritual, very internal. People will learn so much from simplicity in life and just making the right connections. They approve of it. Look at maybe the high school seniors, like 4 of them. And I was coming out the train, and I had my nuts, to make a long story short, and I broke right into Tai Chi. It literally took a second for that to happen. I was waiting for the applause from all the people who were watching me, but I wanted to make a quick escape.
Actually, right, and that's what the discipline teaches you, right? To try to get in and out as quick as possible, right, without hurting somebody. Is that correct?
Absolutely, that's what Maximo. That is the actual essence of Tai Chi. You're there, and your energy alone, by the way, is what really protects you. And of course, I thank God for that situation. I thank God that I came out one piece and got away as quick as I did. I thank God for that. But yes, as a matter of fact, in Tai Chi, if you hurt anybody, it's considered very low level. It's considered something that is almost a disgrace to the martial arts, because Tai Chi is the highest evolution of all the Chinese systems of martial arts called Kung Fu. So it really is the highest level. So you want to make sure that you're definitely on the right. All right, your heart is in the right in the right place, basically.
Awesome. So, so you became an herbalist and a nutritionist. How did that work together with the whole, with Tai Chi and your practice?
Great question, Max. So actually, once I left teaching in 2000, after I put on that play at the Our Lady of Angels, I went into the health food industry and I started to experiment with herbs. Now, herbs, natural supplements, have an energy of their own. And as a matter of fact, each one of those herbs has a different energy and has a different effect on the body. So, being the alchemist that I am, I experimented with the earthing, the Gung from Tai Chi, and then I experiment with the herbs, taking them as I was doing, these stances. And I found that I was able to do other things too, areas of like cognition. I'm sure you're familiar with the pineal gland. It's that one tiny little pea-sized gland between the two eyes that's responsible for higher order thinking, logical thinking, metaphysical thinking. I started to tap into that too. And that happened when I started to experiment with specific herbs in that area. As I did it all together. To me, we're just so far gone, to be honest with you, in a lot of ways, that I try to pull as many resources as I could and bring them together to create a more holistic and healthy way of living. So yes, I started to experiment with tinctures, herbal tinctures, supplements, meaning capsules and tablets, and all different types of plants. I'm also studying herbs right now as I'm pursuing my higher degree in metaphysics, and I find it fascinating because there's no one set herb for one person. It's very specific. It's very individual. Now the stances are different. Anybody stands by a tree, they're gonna feel something. I mean, if you just stand by the tree, take your shoes and socks off, and you stand by a tree, everybody will feel that. That's universal. That's all around. Same with Tai Chi or the stances I teach. But when it comes to the herbs, some herbs people can't have. For example, if somebody has a hyperactive thyroid, and you're giving them too much kelp, which is a seaweed, it would work more adversely than advantage to them. So yes, herbs would be an addition to the two I mentioned before. Yes.
Would you consider? So a lot of people are talking about like ayahuasca and psychedelics. Is that the same kind of field that you're talking about? Do you experiment with any of that and that stuff?
That's interesting. Now that particular area of herbology is the mushrooms, and I have taken them. There are psychedelic mushrooms as well, which I have not tried yet. I'll get to that, I'm sure, at one point. And that, it's interesting because shamans from all the cultures, Maximo, they had experienced those psychedelic mushrooms, mostly the mushrooms. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Of course, it has to be done under careful supervision. All the things I do, the Gung, herbalism, Tai Chi, I thank God I've had the right teachers. Safety is very important to me, body safety. I'm so big on that. So I would say yes. By the way, and not to get too far advanced into the psychedelics, but the purpose of releasing the psychedelic effect of the mushroom was to release a substance in the pineal gland called DMT. And that's once that's released, that substance, it's supposed to be the highest level of, I guess, metaphysical experience. And that's really what most shamans and most of these people were trying to do. But yeah, that's our project in the future. I don't know how long in the future, but definitely something I can do.
If I wanted to get started in my journey in Tai Chi, how would I start? Where would be a good place to start for people to get involved in Tai Chi?
Well, there are many, many places that teach it now. A lot of schools and colleges. Um, I've actually taught on those levels. I taught at the high school level too, not the college level just yet. But a lot of most community centers will have either Tai Chi or Qigong. And I want to just quickly explain the difference between the two. Qigong is the breathing part. It emphasizes breathing. The Negung is more of the stance. So yes, that would be like colleges, places I have taught. Mostly I have taught a lot of Tai Chi at senior centers, nursing homes, but senior centers are more available to the public. And when I see people at the herb store, I mention to them, you know what, if you want to take Tai Chi, go to your local center, go to Bronx House or YMCA, and you'll get a good Tai Chi. Now there's different levels of Tai Chi, and I'm not going to say if you want the best Tai Chi, go to me, but I'll say that it's a good starter. Put it that way. When you want to do advanced Tai Chi, then just text me. That's a different story.
So if I wanted to experiment and try some new, like a different nutrition regimen, what would you suggest? Herbals or like nutrition wise, what would you suggest for people starting out and wanting to make a transition? Everybody's a little scared, because we have COVID now, so people are really experimenting with their immune systems and trying to boost, a lot of boosting. What would you say is one of the things we should be doing?
Okay, right. That's a great question, Maximo. Amazing. Right on. Every question you asked was spot on. And that question, which I think is the most important question, is you want to boost the immune system with natural foods, and the NutriBullet and some of these blends are very, very good. Some of these juices are very good. The Ninja, do that every morning, and the 3 immune boosters, main immune boosters for everyone, regardless of what your level of health, it goes for everybody, is elderberry, vitamin C, and zinc. And you can get that at any health food store. And they're even selling them in other places too, like Walgreens and stuff. But the best ones you'll find at a health food store. And those 3 herbal plants are number 1 when it comes to strengthening the immune system. You do that every day, you won't have to worry about anything. Seriously. Awesome.
I haven't been, it's weird. I eat pretty healthy and, practice yoga, workout, meditate. And I haven't been sick in like 15 years. And I think it's diet, but I'm not taking any herbal supplements, but I want to start, I'm about to be 50 this year, and I want to make that transition and really head down that path. So another question. So you said you are studying metaphysics. So how does that come into play with everything else that you're working with and working on?
Well, I think my main goal with the metaphysics is this, because the Negung and the Tai Chi is a metaphysical exercise, actually, because even though the body is connecting with the earth, the spiritual expression of Tai Chi is metaphysical. It becomes Maximo's Tai Chi. It's not Anthony's Tai Chi. It's nobody's Tai Chi. Once you really learn it correctly, it becomes your Tai Chi. Your body expresses itself. Bruce Lee would say that honestly expressing oneself, is the highest noble act. And I think my purpose for studying metaphysics is that I would be able to help other people access that. And that's very important. So that's why I'm pursuing a doctor's of metaphysics, because that's to me, that's like the most important thing. If I can help anybody, honestly express themselves in their own talent, in their own way, in their own mode, then that's the best thing. That's why I took the Tai Chi. I do teach Tai Chi for those interested in martial arts. But the reason why I do just specific stances is because some people want to experience it themselves. What is this metaphysical experience on the physical? I guess, yeah. So.
Awesome. If you could share one book that helped you out or helped you out in your journey through Tai Chi, what is that book?
Okay. Well, that book is the Tai Chi Chuan Principles and Practice by Grand Master C.K. published in the 1970s. It's a classic. And that book, I would say, would be the best for anybody wanting to learn Tai Chi Chuan.
Awesome. The first hour of your day, what does that look like for you?
Oh, the first hour of my day is doing an hour of the Gung stance, and I do it indoors, but I have set up my house. I look almost like a greenhouse, so I have all kinds of plants and all kinds of things to do the stance. So I do like an hour of that. I do meditation. Yeah, I think the whole process takes me about 2 hours. I wake up early to do it, then I start my day. I work out too. I work out every day as well. Yeah, definitely in the morning. Yeah.
Wow. You mentioned an herbal store. Where could we find that?
Okay. And I'm not saying it just because I work there. To me, this is the best. People in the Bronx, most people know this place. I worked there for 13 years under the absolute best owner. Good and Natural, located at 20. And this is not a sales pitch. 2173 White Plains Road. They have everything. They have herbs. They have vitamins, minerals. They have produce sections. They have natural products. Everything, grocery, everything is there, and it's right on White Plains Road in the Bronx.
All the herbs you were talking about, we could find them there, right?
Everything, and it's been there since 1973, so it's been around a long time.
Awesome. If you could go back and talk to the 20-year-old Anthony, what would you tell him, and what would you tell him to do differently?
You know what? That's a great question. That's an awesome question. What would I say to the 20-year-old Anthony? Oh, I would say, Anthony, thank you for sharing your secrets. That's what I would say, because I finally listened to my inner child. What I would do, I don't know if I would do anything differently, to be honest with you. I don't know. I really have to think about that question.
Awesome. And before we go, you're a Bronx guy, so give me three of your music. Give me three favorite tracks, music that you listen to maybe when you work out or whenever, or maybe when you meditate, maybe meditation music. What do you listen to?
Okay, for meditation, I like Olivia Newton-John. She has something called it's a meditation. I like it. It's got flutes and this. For workout, it's definitely Eye of the Tiger. Anything Rocky, anything. I get into hip hop, rap, anything when it comes to working out. I like fast music, And there's this excellent song by Michael Sabello. It was in the 1970s called Gravity. It's cool. It's got that beat to it. Just gets me going. But really, that's I got those of it out there. Yeah.
Awesome. If anybody wanted to find you and contact you, how could they find you?
Okay, the best way to find me, believe it or not, is at Good and Natural. Good and Natural in the Bronx. You can come to the store anytime. I do all kinds of, I make my space for people when they come to the store. I'm a senior advisor there. So I know people, personally as well as in business through the store.
Awesome. So Anthony, I want to thank you for being on Maximize. I appreciate you. I've learned a lot today, and I'm definitely going to head to Good and Natural to get my supplements and boost my immune system. And I appreciate you for being here. Any final words?
Thank you all, for just your time. Thank you, Maximo, for your wisdom. Your energy, is vitality. Just thank you. I thank you. Appreciation, love, and peace for everybody. But right from the heart, I really want to say thank you.